Hello everyone. Hello world. Just wanted to say a quick thank you for checking in as I work through this. It's been quite exciting to have people discover the channel and the streams that know what Node.js, Python and the likes are. Never mind, recently we had a chat comment that I missed on Twitch referencing WebRTC, which is the heart and soul of the project here. So it's kind of led me on to continue the path of building out live chat integration. And tonight we're going to carry on with Twitch chat. So Twitch chat and YouTube chat are essentially going to be combined into one system. So that's what I'm working on tonight. Just going to take it slow and hopefully make some progress. Okay, so there's basically two different parts of the system we'll have to work on tonight. One is the plugin layer I created for the Kynto backend. Essentially creates a WebSocket of Twitch and receives chat comments that way. We're going to wire up our front end to control that just in React. It'll be a component we can drop in anywhere. I think it'll eventually end up in the stream panel. So probably end up somewhere in here. This is where I basically create my streams and have other people join. It's all powered by WebRTC. You've got webcam selection, you've got your screen share. That's how I combine all this into one stream. The most interesting part though is getting the audience involved, so chat. Before you'd have to just like log in the web app or the phone app or whatever, and then you could chat. Now, we obviously have it on YouTube where you're able to chat and interact, create an avatar, even walk around. But you're able to basically join the stream by just messaging in live chat. So now we're moving that over to Twitch as well. The Twitch way of doing things is a little bit cleaner, a little bit preferable. So I think it's going to make it easier. There's no crazy limits on how many times you can ask the server how many chats have been sent or what chats have been sent when. There's no polling required, which is definitely preferable. It's basically like a pub sub model. It's probably driven by WebSockets or something with such underneath. Haven't dug too deep into it, but we don't have to, at least not right now. But what I want to do is wire up some events that I'll be shooting over to my front end via WebSockets regardless. Let's see how far we can get. It's Monday at 2:31 AM and I do have a full-time job, so as usual, we will go as long as we can. Just what I like to do when I pick up code is just literally sit there and mindlessly scroll over it until I start coming up internally with thoughts and questions regarding where I left it. You'll know I'm working on an area when you see a bunch of comments. Typically those will get pulled out. The goal is to write code that's pretty self-explanatory, but when you're still making sense of what to do, it's very helpful. So what we want to do is pass in some parameters likely, so we don't have to hard code the channel name or secret tokens. That way other users will be able to take advantage of this functionality as well, which is definitely good. Okay, so we've got a front end code over here. Basically just copied and pasted what I had for YouTube. We're going to update it. There's no polling, so start with that. It's always good to localize where you can. I find it's good for booleans or something like that. Make use of verbs such as is or has. You know, is it connected? Has it connected? As opposed to just typing out connected. See how we're tracking the host, essentially, YouTube. Send status update. Let's send the status update. Thanks for sending it to everybody in the room. Definitely want to come back and clean that up. Okay. I could reuse the command processor essentially, but I do believe we are going to customize it quite a bit. So I'm going to just go ahead, copy that for now. Oh. What's happening here? We already had that. It's bloody keyboard, man. Right, so when a user first sends a live chat, we actually have to create them an avatar first. And before we were taking the YouTube username and prepending YT underscore. That way there was collisions with existing usernames within Kynto. However, now we also have Twitch in here. We're going to have to do the same process for Twitch. I think I remember doing that at least partly. I don't see where the user's created though. Okay, I guess right here, this, yeah, it's different. Trigger it. So it looks like calling this essentially twice, because I'm not doing a return. Doesn't seem to be causing issues, so it tells me it's covering up a bug. We've got to come back and improve this tile selection for spawn tile. Maybe use parallel noise or something, but the connected avatars just kind of arrange them in a somewhat pleasing way. But since we are up on Twitch, let's go ahead and do a quick Unix test here. Oh, why didn't it start? There's nothing crazy in here. It's probably throwing an error, isn't it? Let's see. Keep doing. Oops. I'm just going to stub out a little test function essentially. Let's go down here. Okay. Yeah, this was definitely left incomplete. Coalescent operator. We don't have to bother checking if this function's defined before invoking it. Let's see, hopefully these were the right handles. Token. Oh, don't tell me I have to generate a new one every time. It's madness. Token. Let's see which one it is. Oh, logic error. See, I wasn't checking if the secret token length was not defined or 0. I was checking if it was defined. Very bad. Successfully connected to chat, and then it's not. Right. What? Here. Token. Okay, we're not going to bother generating that right now, although I might have to because I'm on. I suppose I'll just do it. Okay, I'm going to black out screen for a second. Yeah. Okay, let's see what we got here. Give me another token back. Pop that in. Quick test. Okay, that was successful. Bear with me, I'll bring the screen back. Zoom in a bit because it's tiny on portrait. It's terrible. Terrible. Okay, so if we go here, I'm running this essentially in test mode. It looks like the tokens exist, at least per session, which is kind of annoying. The tokens essentially attached to the user as we moderate the channel. Let me go on Twitch and send a test message. We should see it pop up in this console window. So we'll have to carry on. yeah. So see that's getting sent right over from Twitch. So that's good. And it's triggering our little test cases. Not technical test cases, but it's okay. So I'm happy with that. What I'm going to do is hop back into the actual Kynto plugin layer. We'll go ahead and wire all this up. Just pop this now. Alright, that'll do for now. And then we're going to hop back over basically the instance layer. So this is attached to the Kynto room, like you see at the bottom of the screen or right of your screen. That avatar chat's driven by that chat. The whole thing we're doing here is just getting Twitch integrated. So now, what we're looking for is the execution flow. The execution flow. So the first method what we're going to invoke is called start, and that's attached to start live, which is this boy right here. Let's set up my handlers. So what we're looking for is the message callback. Where are you? 2 minutes. Twitch message. Oh. Okay. Pop that in here. And then we're going to look for, we got 2 parameters. I like using named parameters, destructuring. That's just cleaner, much cleaner. We just have username and message, and then that's perfect. So what we need to do now is we're going to trigger a process input function with the message. You should also know the username. So it's essentially just a dumb handle. And then in our process input, we were expecting username. What we're going to do is we're going to parse commands out of that message. We're basically just looking for known keywords separated by space. And we break that out into an array. That way we can have arguments for our commands. Keep going. This is where the magic happens. This is how we actually check if our avatar exists for this user. So I think when we're calling this, we have to pass in a new argument called source now. So let's have a look. Oops. Yeah, so we're passing prepend. I suppose that'll work for now. Let's make a constant for this. So anywhere where we basically call get an avatar, this username, we're going to have to pass in this argument. That way we're specifying which one we want. There's 3 potential avatar sources. Then same deal when we create an avatar message room. So not only does it send a message to the existing room that we're hosting the stream in, but it also creates an avatar for that username if it's not defined yet. So I suppose it's also expecting that. Yeah, we gotta tidy this. Hey PH Designs, good to see you, buddy. So tonight working on Twitch implementation. Meaning, so as you know, typically the live chat is hooked up for Kynto for YouTube. Doing the same process for Twitch tonight. Don't expect this to be a long night, hopefully not. Got crazy work ahead of me tomorrow, but let's go ahead just to activate the chat. But it's good to see you, buddy. For that. Okay. So this is how I activate it for YouTube. I just get the video ID, hit start polling. We're going to set duration 5 seconds for
PH Designs, LLC. Says how far have we come?
Yes, so there you go. That's literally what we're working on for Twitch. Right now. Back to it.
That's awesome. Good to see you too. Sorry I hadn't been around for a bit. Been building an office.
That's awesome, PH. I remember you talking a wee bit about that. Definitely curious to know how that turned out. And Basil, basically what I'm working on is this live chat driven avatar streaming thing. To just put it shortly, and working on hooking up Twitch into it as well. So Twitch and YouTube as one. PH, I remember you mentioning that you were considering creating a channel. Just wondering if you did anything with that.
Hey, can you give me your GitHub username?
Yeah, Scotland is me. I'll drop it in the chat.
It's not done yet. Probably going to take me all summer, but I will definitely.
Scotland Dime.
And guys, make sure to drop a like on the channel. It helps this little thing we're doing over here. It helps out. I appreciate you being here. Awesome, PH. I understand. I'm about to move my very clustered setup into another room, which is much bigger. So I'm excited about that, but I'm going to be doing it one bit at a time because I've even got
Not
server
yet,
over there.
but I've started looking into a few niches.
Anything interesting? Anything that piques your interest more than other niches? Okay, wow.
I think your setup isn't terrible but could always use more room.
Oh, I'm squished, man. I'm squished bad. Yeah, behind all these screens, there's a big server and it heats this room up so bad I have a full AC underneath it running right now. Squeezed in here like a bloody sardine.
Arts says, what are you building, man?
Hey Arts, so just how you heard your comment get read out for YouTube, I'm working on that for Twitch tonight. So we can combine live streams. Cheers for asking.
Oof. Yet I feel that I usually run 2 to 3 PCs and 4 to 5 screens in my office.
Yeah, that'll do it. I have a giant Trinitron CRT behind the camera as well. God, yeah. You can get cooking. I'm down here in Florida as well, and I'm not used to the temperatures even still. Okay, so I need to send a status once we start. Okay.
When did you start your programming journey, bro?
Arts, great question. I've been coding since I was a bloody child. You can see some examples of that in my first videos on YouTube. One of them goes back like 15 years, I think. I think literally 15 years. Arts, what about you? Are you a coder yourself? Is it something you get into?
After 20 years in Florida, the heat, people, and hurricanes ran me out.
Well, you got out just in time with the people because it's bloody chaos. They're actually closing down a main road here because they're replacing the railroad tracks. There's like only 2 ways out the community, so. And I live in the middle of nowhere, but there's cities all around me now.
6 months into programming, I'm just a newbie, bro. Smiling face with tear.
Arts is brilliant. You'll both be horrified and happy to hear you never stop learning. What languages, which platforms or technologies interest you?
I'm also building something AI, Python, with JavaScript, MERN, e-commerce project. I also learning AI agents like yours, comments reader. In my case, I'm gonna use it for semantic search and user.
Basil, that's awesome. That's really cool. I haven't heard of MERN, so I'm actually going to take a quick look. Okay. Oh, the mean stack. Okay, very cool. So just a quick refresher what's going on here. I do use MongoDB myself. We use Node.js for the backend. We use WebSockets.
That is
we use
awesome.
WebRTC.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you guys too. It's, very cool getting to hear projects like So it's very easy to sit here and do your stuff alone and occasionally look on Reddit, but really not know what's going on. Twitch live status.
I'd love to see more stuff like the M1 app.
The M1 app.
How do you get motivated to finish a project?
Is that the finance app? That's a good question, Arts. Give me a second. Let me mute the readout for a wee quick second so I can formulate an answer. All right, another update still in the queue is actually pausing chat readouts or delaying them. But right now I just manually muted it. How I stay motivated? It's a really good question. It's something I struggle with, man. I really do. And I see a lot of other people struggle with it. Sitting here like this helps. Sometimes it makes it harder. You know, like it kind of pushed it off. It's like, who wants to sit in front of a camera and code? But it can actually turn out to be quite fun, especially when you got people asking you cool questions. The other thing that helps is putting all my focus in one project. Anything I can learn and like leverage in the web browser, I want to use it. Oh, interesting, PH. Okay. Yeah, I can see massive applications for that. Goodness sake. Let's carry on here. Chat's been reinitialized. Status. Evan. What else would...
Switching between projects to balance burnout is essential.
That's also true. Even in a large project, switching out between what you're working on, like I have so many unreleased features here. Like if you guys look into TensorFlow.js, I use that to do machine learning in browser to select like my face from a webcam and like map it to a pixel avatar. And while it's almost completely done, it's not. So it's an example of like one of those things that I thought was cool. I coded it, but I kind of abandoned it. But I'll get back there. Appreciate the like, that helps a lot.
Haha, I have a lot of abandoned things laying around, but eventually I finish most of it. Or scrap it.
Yeah, no, there's always going to be something that pops up in the future where you're like, oh, I can actually use this. Action.
Yes, sir.
Let's go ahead and register the Twitch plugin because we're almost ready. I'm eventually going to move this into MongoDB collection. Right now we're doing it the hard way. Let's see. Where's my giant list of plugins? Oh, it was down there. Okay, so it's ready. It's already in an array, but we don't have that in a collection yet. All right. So to add a new plugin to the room layer, let's put a new entry in here. Put it as active. I'm going to name it Twitch. And then I'll specify the file path. I'm using dependency injection. Kind of makes it easier to build ridiculously large code bases with disparate functionalities and integrations. Please tell me if you found a better way. This is how we do OpenAI, chat, YouTube, Twitch, even updating your avatar. And I even implemented remote desktop protocol on top of WebRTC. One of those things that's not released yet, but does work. So it seemed like if I could share my desktop over WebRTC, couldn't I just capture the mouse keyboard input over the video player and just make the video player appear not to be a video player? Turns out, yep, it works just fine. I used nodejs and Electron to do the desktop app layer. So you'd have to run one version of Kynto as the desktop app with all that enabled. And then it uses accessibility API, and then I'm able to...
Haha, what would that be needed for?
Well, I'll give you an example. Just managing my OBS instance and stuff. Being able to control that from my phone without having to use like remote desktop stuff that I don't approve of or don't think is like legit.
WebRTC.
Another cool thing it could be used for is like, say I share a game instance, like, I don't know, Portal on my Steam Deck, and I want someone else to check it out, like a friend, whatever, I could send them the link to that instance so they can like play it. It's one of the use cases for it. But the main reason I'm creating it is just so I have it. So I like WebRTC, it's peer-to-peer, and that's inherently feels more secure than having, I don't know, like TeamViewer. Famous last words. All right, so that's active. But that's all I have to do.
You tried 3.js?
Yes, yes, yes. This is why. 100%. Yes.
That's wild, haha. I like that.
The biggest problem with 3GS is assets. Kind of got some ideas on what we could do to kind of stopgap it. You know, like Paper Mario has kind of, it's a good example of using 2D assets in like a 3D space. Appreciate it, PH. All right, so have you done anything with 3GS? So what would you like to do with it? .3GS is another great example of how powerful web is, by the way, because you have WebVR support.
Is it easy to learn 3JS? What do you think?
Yes, yes, yeah, it is. And I recommend even just starting building a little 2D game in 3GS. You get familiarize yourself with APIs, you don't have to worry about assets beyond PNG files. Or okay, so that's all hooked up. Switch back to React layer. Switch flag state. see if I broke the front end here. So this is my local development environment, 0.29. Hot reload's supposed to be working because of the way I set up my reverse proxy, it's not.
The voices change per person now?
Yeah, PH, I'm glad you noticed that. Yep.
I think the future will be about AR, VR stuff.
100% arts. Augmented reality, yes. Oh, polling is not defined. Time to fix some errors. It's no longer needed.
AR stripper services face with tears of joy.
That's a good idea. Future is now.
Safer for the women, LOL.
Oh, that's true. It's very, very true. You know, it's funny, I had a friend, sometimes he hops on here, but he hit me up because he's seen, you know, the WebRTC stuff I did for the streaming in Kynto. And he's like, hey, I have a business that could use this tech. And I won't get into details. And I didn't do it with him, but he wanted to. Oh, it's not defined still. Ah. Hey Cash, typically you hear your comment get read out, but for whatever reason yours didn't. But it's an avatar chat driven by YouTube live chat, and I'm working on that for Twitch now as well. There's a lot more to it.
Haha, what was he gonna do?
This. Well, he's an interesting character. If you look at my channel, you'll see a project maybe about 10 years ago called Acid. Maybe it was even more than that, 14 or something. We got together, we developed a piece of software that indexed song URLs from Tumblr, and it wouldn't save the song MP3 files, but it would save the location of them. And then we basically made that searchable via an API. So like one of the first iPhone apps I ever wrote was for that. So you could search, like essentially search Tumblr for MP3 files, and you had a little media player built into it. That was his idea. So just to give you an idea of the type of guy, very, very intelligent. But he wanted to do something with the whole webcam girls and WebRTC. He's got a kid and stuff now. He's definitely matured a bit, but still focused on what will get the bucks for him, which is fair enough. I wish I was more motivated by money. I kind of code first, money later. Which I need to change if I want to get my project built out over time, but alright, chat's back. Alright.
It sells.
Yes, indeed it does. So we have an accordion here now for Twitch and YouTube. This is the current one that I use to manage YouTube. I just cleaned it up a wee bit, added some settings, and then I have another one for Twitch. Anyone that has a room in Kynto could run this. If they wanted to stream for whatever reason, they could have chat readouts themselves. So let's carry on here. It's a good time. So now I've got that wired up. Let's start back end, see if it starts with crashing. Before I do that, I actually need to send some status updates. I want to close this out a little bit before I go to bed. Spend an hour trying to go to sleep. Adjusted. Look at this, that is duplicated. This is terrible. Okay. Let's just go ahead and dump the messages out for now. I'm going to call it comments for whatever reason. It's not relevant, but it's fine. Okay, so let's quickly run through and add some status updates for start, connection, time of day connection, and send message. So let's do that. Status connected. Actually, it should be that. It's called end. Double check. Started, stopped, comments update.
Bro's on another level. He solves any problem, reads raw docs like a pro, and Google is just his sidekick now. Fire.
Appreciate that. Yes. Okay. Now we're looking for when we actually get a message. Here we go.
One SEC going to my office.
Worried page. Okay. That's right. I need to actually add this to just an array of messages. Add it at top. And then they explode out the existing messages in there. That's an array. I don't like this. I'm putting the username in there. That's better.
Back.
I'll come back. Have you got cool lighting in there yet? Like, what's your lighting situation? Okay. This is definitely going to throw some errors, but I'm going to go ahead and just start it, make it easier to debug. Look, someone sent some spam on Twitch. So that's why we're running everything through our OpenAI moderation layer. That's helpful though. I'm going to save this exact message and username combination to test. Cheers, Vaughn. Let's dump that here.
Tanawat Chickmunkle says secret token skull.
Yeah, let me know if you see anything pop up on screen. I go to great efforts to make sure they don't. Like,
I got the electrical done. Working on the insulation and drywall now.
Appreciate you, Tana, though. That's why I'd be keeping an eye on as well. It's my biggest fear. All right on PH, you did a proper refit. Bloody hell. So. Docker compose down. Docker compose up. Built. Attached. I'll let that run. Oh, playing with fire. Where we're at.
I had a red barn built so I could finish the inside. Building a bathroom and Murphy bed in here as well.
What the hell, PH? You are going for a bloody dream setup. Yeah, putting a comfortable bed sofa in my office wasn't the best idea for me, but I like it. Okay, a bit too much.
What's that keyboard you are using there?
So I like it a lot. It took me years to find something that I was okay buying. Just like a Chinese no-name keyboard, but it's got some of the nicest key action. Got the box, but what's it called? RK Royal.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite cool. It has all this light and crap, but I kind of like it now, actually. But I like how it sounds and how it feels. Alright, where are we at? Look at this taking its sweet time.
For that developer touch cat face with tears of joy.
Yes. Coding with lightning. Thank God for source control. Thank you, programmers.
Face with tears of joy.
Let's copy this service name so I can run the MongoDB instance without the server running. That way I can just run it directly with Node instead of wait for it to rebuild in Docker.
Why don't you just set a volume and attach a shell onto Docker, so you don't have to rebuild the whole time?
I haven't coded in months, I'm afraid I'll forget how LOL.
Montana, that's basically what I was just getting at right there. We'll give it another go tomorrow. PH Designs is in trouble. You'll be okay. But you definitely have to get back to it. Montana, that's how I have it essentially set up for the client, the UI layer, the server. I kind of got lazy and wrote config. Using this iPad as a second body screen and it locks up sometimes. It's pissing me off.
Haha, yeah. I'll just be rusty again. Nothing an 8-hour session can't fix, haha.
No, yeah, you'll get right back into it. Okay, it should be back up. Happened there. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. No errors. What do we have going on? Off screen here, I'm gonna tail the logs. Oops.
Yo, that's interesting fire.
Oh yeah. Appreciate you. Let me see if I move this off screen here. And I could log in with my phone, share camera from there, and it stacks all them. It's kind of an experiment with WebRTC, but it's what lets me put my streams together here. Just able to. It's cool that you noticed that. All right, carry on. Okay, what happened then? Nothing good. So I'm supposed to start, at least try to connect to the Twitch chat on the plugin layer, but nothing happened.
As far along as you are, do you think there's a coder that excels all, or do you think we are all useful to each other? In my head, I don't see one coder as better than, maybe just more useful than other.
Yeah, no, we're all extremely useful to each other. There's people that have done incredible things that or stand out, but yeah, it's all built on the shoulders of giants. And even you got to operate that you're talking to someone that's, you know, smarter than you, so you're receptive to listening to them. Like, I've definitely made the mistake of not doing that in my life at times. You learn real quick. Why aren't you firing? Okay. Forgot you guys can't see. PH, I know you're already subscribed.
You explained it better.
Make sure you guys are subscribed. Tana, I appreciate you sticking around. You're definitely a useful eye. And Arts, make sure you're subscribed for the next stream. Yeah, the shoulders of giants thing resonates with me hard. I think I'm going to go ahead and end this on a high note. If you guys, any questions before we shut this down? It's 3:41 a.m. and I could be here all night, so it's problematic with work very, very soon. I appreciate you getting on with me and hanging out with me tonight. And PH, appreciate you stopping by.
Me too. When you said that part, I was like, that's all the words needed, haha.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That's why it's helpful for us to talk to each other. We're just, I think it gets to your point. But anyway, like, brain farts kicking in. But, you know, we'll do better talking to each other. Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for hopping on. I'm going to put this down. Take it easy.